Certainly was an uncharacteristic performance from Embiid. Shannon, how do you explain his performance last night?
Well, I agree with Charles to an extent. I do think he was impacted by the news, Skip. He started politicking a month ago. Remember, he said, if I don't win this award, they just don't like me. So he was already putting it out there, Skip. Obviously, when you put something, you work so hard, you train so hard from something. Joel Embiid had gotten himself in the best shape of his career. And it seemed like, you know what, it was finally going to pay off in an individual award. Obviously, yeah, he wants to win the championship. But all of a sudden, you work so hard for something and you don't achieve it. It's like, damn, what? And you heard him say it last night. What else do I got to do?
And remember, this is the second straight year. Go ahead.
Second straight year, he's finished runner-up to Nikola Jokić, who's very deserving of the award. And it seemed like it's because, look, I get it. Miami is the number one seed for a reason. They started out in the zone, but as Charles said, he was not aggressive. It seemed like he was passing it. I mean, he had 6 points in the first half, and then he comes out in the third quarter and he has 11. Yeah. Why didn't you have that aggressiveness to start the ball game? This is a game 5, and 82% of the game 5 winners go on and win the series. You could have put a stranglehold on this series. Win game 5, Skip. Now I'm going back to Philly to close your butt out, Miami. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to be fighting for your life. This is a desperation game. But it seemed like he was impacted by the ball game. He did not seem as aggressive as I saw him in the previous 3 games. I mean, what the hell am I supposed to do with 17-5, Skip? That's Joel Embiid. The dude, you can't give us 13 points under your season average in a playoff game. You can't give us 6 fewer rebounds in a playoff game than your regular season average. The top guys, even if you look at Jordan, if Jordan averaged 30, Skip in the postseason, he averaged 33. You look at the great players. You look at KD. KD average goes up in the postseason from the regular season. LeBron goes up from the postseason to regular season to the postseason. That's what the greats have to do, Joel. So look, they ain't gonna revote. And I'm also trying to figure out, damn, everybody I've heard say, I voted for Joel Embiid. I voted for Joel Embiid. Well, how did Nikola Jokić win the awards? Give everybody you heard, I voted for Joe. I voted for Joe. Well, damn, they must be got 2,000 voters. There's nothing else you can do. Maybe you cast a secret ballot. There's nothing else you can do, Joel. All you can do now is go out there, play your butt off in a game 6, and force a game 7. There's nothing else you can do about the MVP. But, Skip, he did not seem like the Joel Embiid from the previous 2 games. Now, he did take a swat to the face late in the first half, Skip, but I don't think that impacted. And what the hell, it's a football game. Just because you're hurt, that doesn't mean I'm hurt. Just because you're going 60%, that don't mean I'm going to go 60%. I'm going 100%. I'm going to swat at the ball. I'm trying to get rebounds. I'm trying to do whatever I can because I want to win. So if I accidentally hit you side the face, and when you got the shield on, the mask, it is what it is. But he did not seem like the Joel Embiid that I saw in games 3 and 4. And I don't know what the reasons why. Maybe it was. Maybe he wasn't feeling well. But, Joel, you have to understand, bro, when you out there, all they see is 21 and they see Embiid. They want to see at least 30, 11, and 5. That's what they want to see. And you need to give him that. That was not a Joel Embiid performance last night. That's not nearly good enough.
All right. I hear everything you just said. This is what I know for a fact because I'm looking at it in the box score. I'm looking at my man Joel Embiid was a minus 29 in plus minus last night.
Jeez.
With his running mate and co-star James Harden, who also disappeared, didn't show. He was also a game low, minus 29.
But we've given up on him, though, Skip, already.
I got it. But when your 2 quote-unquote stars are both minus 29,
you're losing bad.
And playoff Jimmy for the home team, the Heat, is a plus 36, you're going to get your butt blown off, and they did. All right, now back to Charles Barkley's contention, sort of the TNT panel's contention inside the NBA. Even Chris Haynes, our man, their reporter, had some really insightful sort of sideline updates and insights into Joel at the shoot-around yesterday, that he was in a mood and he was sitting by himself. He was distant from his teammates, hard to talk to. I get all that. I don't know what it all means because who knows exactly what's going on in that man's mind.
Right.
We do have some injury situations that we should account for here because I think they're valid, quote-unquote, excuses. Remember, Joel, early in the game, if we could see this, he did go diving into the crowd after a loose basketball, and it looked like, if we could see it, he grabbed his back like he had tweaked it. He is a huge human being, and his back is very tweakable in situations like that.
Right.
Okay? So he fell into the crowd. At least he did that. At least he tried, sort
Right.
of gave himself up a little bit, and then he gets back up and he grabs his back. Okay? I don't know if he hit his back or wrinched his back or
Right.
both. I'm not sure.
Well, you know, didn't he miss a couple of games with a back injury this
He's
year?
always got a back going on. He's had a thumb going on reportedly
Yes.
that is still plaguing him. And then we get to the mask and to the play in question. If we could see that, Dedmon actually hits the basketball and it just smashed Joel in the mask. And I'm sure it didn't feel very good. I'm sure because now the mask actually serves as like a battering ram against your face, right? If you get a basketball up against you. And I'm sure that did not feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I
agree.
Okay, so we have 3 potential injuries going on. We have an injured Pride over the MVP going on. So did he sulk? Did he pout? Did he play half-heartedly? Did he play lacking luster last night because he was troubled by losing the MVP? I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea. The TNT crew seemed like they had it from the inside. It almost seemed like it had come from somebody either up high or in the coaching staff, or somebody had told them, oh, he's pouting over the MVP.
Because here's the thing, Skip. What's his normal behavior during shoot-around? Is he normally distanced? Is he normally sitting by himself?
I'm going to doubt that because he's pretty engaging.
Exactly.
You know, he can be very outgoing when he feels like it, right?
I get it. Because think about it now. That's the MVP. There have been a lot of men that play professional basketball. There's only a handful of them that's won that award. So that's going to mean something. I led the NBA in scoring, and I won the MVP. So obviously he put a lot of thought, a lot of work, and a lot of effort into this award, Skip. He was in the best shape of his life.
I got it.
And all he wants to do, Skip, is to pay it off. He wants that hard work to be validated. And this year, it just wasn't. That doesn't mean he can't win the award next year or the year after. It's just not this year.
Yet, in his very lackluster post-game interview, when he talked about like this, just like completely out of energy, as was his basketball team last night, he went on and on about, I already knew I was going to lose the award 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So he said, it's not like I just found out this afternoon.
So it was on his mind.
Okay, it's possible it just plagued him and ate at him until it just ate him up before last night's game. But he went on and on about how I'm not mad about losing the award. And then he talked about it, and he talked about it, and he talked about it some more until finally it came across that he is, in fact, deflated over it. He's frustrated to a fault over it. He's at a loss to explain, like, what more do I need to do? What did he average? He had 31, 12, and 4 assists. Those are pretty big numbers.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So, and he led the league in scoring. Okay. And he says, what more can I do? And the more he talked about it, the more it seemed like.
Yeah, you were upset.
Yeah. Okay. I got it.
Yes.
And yet, the bottom line takeaway for all this is Doc Rivers saying after the game, they, the Heat, were just so much more engaged than we were tonight. They were more physical. They took us out of all of our stuff. Well, clearly, in a shock to me, Miami really came to play, and Philly really, really did not come to play.
It's really that simple.
Okay, so what did we see in games 3 and 4 in Philadelphia?
Joel 24-11 in game 4, 17-11 in game 3.
And in 3, he showed up, if not showed out, but he did show up, and his mere presence seemed to lift the whole team because Joel's going to suck it up and play with that thing on his face. Okay, we got this, right? And all of a sudden, it looked like Philadelphia had reimposed its will on the Miami Heat. All of a sudden, we fast forward to game 5 last night, and silly me, I thought that the Sixers just might go in there and clock them. Just go in there and say, you know what, we're just better than you because we got the best player on the floor. You can have Jimmy Buckets, playoff Jimmy, all you want, but we got 21 on our side. And all of a sudden, 21 played like he was about 6'2", right? The whole team came out just completely lifeless. And again, I'm going to tell you who's going to pay for this.
Doc Rivers going to pay for his job.
About to pay. And the way they played last night, I'm just not so sure they can suck it up and dredge it back up and hold off Jimmy Buckets and company back in Philadelphia because I'm just not so sure it's going to end in 6. And if it does, I think Doc is going to be gone.
Because it would just be a continuation. Skip, I believe the Miami Heat have a better overall team There's no question about it. The Sixers have the best player. But the loss last year to Atlanta and the Ben Simmons fiasco and now this debacle, somebody's got to pay. You know, Skip, you know how this goes. What's the easiest fix is what? The coach. You can't replace 12, 13 guys.
No,
I can replace the head coach though.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so I have a confession to make to you. I have run out of patience finally for Joel Embiid because, as you know, I have supported him, I have defended him, I have pubbed him, I have pushed him as the best player on the planet. I told you yesterday, this was a golden opportunity down in the capital of the sunshine, in Miami.
Yes.
Golden opportunity for Joel Embiid to remake his case as the best player on the planet.
Right.
Again, Kevin Durant got knocked off his throne by the Boston Celtics. I think Giannis is teetering on his throne thanks to the Boston Celtics.
Right.
LeBron has abdicated. He's on his couch munching Ruffles. That's what he's doing, right? And yet, here's the guy that I think is supremely gifted, who has like a nasty streak in him, who can be, in a good way, mean-spirited on the court. And I think he strikes more fear than even Jokić does in rival coaches as they try to prepare. Because this guy, when he's engaged, when he's right, when his mind is right and his body is reasonably healthy, he is a flat-out terror.
Right.
You can't deal with him on either end of the floor. So last night, I'm expecting, and the more you expect from that guy, the least you can trust that guy. And in the end, it's always something with Joel Embiid. And we say it over and over again, but the new something was, wait, he's sulking over the MVP in a Game 5 at Miami? Is he protesting? Is he rebelling against Doc? I don't know what's going on, but something in his psyche was out of whack last night, especially in the first half. I saw some flashes. I saw some glimpses of the Joel Embiid in the third quarter, as you said.
Right.
But it was way too little, way too late, and it didn't sustain itself for the rest of the game.
Right.
And so we're left with minus 29 and plus minus. And the point is that with him, it's always something unpredictable because we go back to the Toronto series back in the playoffs when Kawhi was in Toronto, and he's sick or hurt. He's sick or hurt. He's sick or hurt. It's one thing or another.
Even remember the Brooklyn series he missed when Ben Simmons had to take over and score 30 with a double-double.
He's always got something naggingly wrong with him or something career-threatening wrong with him. And once he works through career-threatening, there's always this is going on and that's going on. And again, what happened to his nose, or his orbital bone actually, is just a freak accident.
Freak accident, it is.
But sometimes he's star-crossed.
Right.
Sometimes he seems snake-bitten. But other times, I just say, Joel, I tweeted this last night, as soon as I heard Barkley say that at halftime. If that, in fact, is the case last night, that he was sulking over the MVP or whatever, just pouting about it, then he doesn't deserve an MVP the rest of his career, because for me, that's a career ender as far as you being the best player on the planet or a potential MVP.
Skip, let me ask you a question.
You should be disqualified from here forward.
How many times do you think Jordan felt that he was wrong for the MVP? How many times do you think LeBron and Kobe? Even Shaq said, hey, look, I'm going to say it till I'm 70.
Did you hear him say?
Yeah.
He said, I'm 50 and I'll say it till I'm 70. I got robbed twice. Okay, good.
So
you turned up the sound.
Yeah, I did.
Good.
I did. And I'm thinking, I'm like, okay. And I know Shaq a little bit, but yeah, that bothers him. That bothers him.
Eats at him.
But here's the thing. But you know what Shaq said? Okay, but I won the title. Joel, I guess, and he said, well, I'm going to pour your energy in that. And then whatever happens after you win the title, you can live with it. But Joel is only like 28 years old. He makes it seem like he's 38 and he's not going to have another chance at the MVP. Skip, damn.
That is true. And then what killed me, you know how I feel about this, he said, well, now I guess I got to refocus all my energy on winning a championship. And of course, my first thought was,
that should have been all your focus to begin with.
Day one, you have to focus on that. If the MVP comes along with it, great.
Team success. Look, Skip, I want guys to be selfish, but not your goal shouldn't come in front of that of the team. Because guess what? if you want to win those awards, that means we're gonna win some games. Hey, you want to win the MVP? Ooh, go get it. You want to be defensive player of the year? Go get it. But I know that's going to win some games. But I don't want that to supersede. Man, I need the MVP. Well, what about us winning? Man, I need that MVP. And Joel, look, it didn't happen. Bruh, it's okay. You're not the first guy. Trust me, you're not the first guy that got robbed, that feel like they got robbed for an MVP. There are a lot of, and some of the players are better than you. Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron going to say, man, hey, look here. I know LeBron feels that he should have another one or two.
Absolutely.
Jordan probably thinks he should have 10 MVPs.
That is true. I agree on both counts. I agree.
Kobe, like, hold on, I averaged 35. I averaged 30 plus 1 year, and I got left off, and then he didn't win it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Skip, it's something. Skip, the man had 6 points and 2 rebounds on 6 shots in the first half. What the hell was that about? He only taken 4 shots. When he got slapped in the face, he had only taken 4 shots. So what? And then come out of the third quarter, he goes 5 of 6 and scores 11 points. Where was this in the first half? That's what you gave us in the third quarter. That's what you should have given us in the first or the second quarter. Go out there and have one of those monster halves like we've seen you have in the regular season, where you go get 20, 24 points, 8, 9 rebounds in the first half. Give your team a chance. Skip, when he plays like this, they got no chance. The auxiliary players around him can't play well enough. The reason why they were able to win Game 3 and Game 4 is because Joel was so dominant. Not Danny Green is getting wide open looks. Look, I'm giving up. James Harden ain't putting no games together back-to-back. Hey, at this point in time, I'm just saying, the season, come back, get healthy. Last place you want to have James Harden be is in South Beach. That's the Miami. That's the last place you want him, that guy, to be. Now, Philly, it might be a change. It might be a change of scenery. He might play better. I ain't holding my breath on that.
Yeah.
But Joel Embiid, this was very disappointing on you last night, bro.
So here's the classic, for me, social media victim or prisoner type of a quote from Joel last night after the game. He was asked about how he's feeling, and he said, for me, it's just about pain tolerance, but this is a lose-lose situation for me. If I don't play, you know, I'll probably get called soft. If I play and I play bad, probably say, oh, you're just not good enough. Well, that's because he's just reading his comments, and he's just like, people are holding him hostage almost, like, I can't win because you're going to call me. So who cares what they say? Are you going to play or are you not going to play?
Right.
And if you're going to play, don't tell me you're in a lose-lose situation, because if that's your mentality going out there, that's kind of how he played in the first half, like, I can't win.
Right.
Like, I don't really feel like playing, but I'm out here so you won't call me soft, right?
But you're doing nothing, so we're going to call you soft because you only had 6 points in the first half.
Okay. Well, either go or don't go.
Right.
And if you don't feel like going, just don't even look at your phone. Just go. If you can't play, you can't play. And sometimes, as you well know, sometimes you just can't go.
You just can't go. And it comes down to that, Skip, because at the end of the day, that's that bad tape. We're going to talk about some of the football players, Skip, and that's what I tell you. Hey, all they see is that number and that name on the back.
Yep.
They don't care nothing about you had to get shot up. They don't care anything about that. But I was surprised, Skip. I'm surprised that he came back as quick as he did dealing with that, considering I had a very similar injury.
And we both applauded him for Game 3.
Yes.
Just being out on the floor.
Had he not come back, Skip, they'd have got swept. This series would have been over.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to remind you of something I told you 3 years ago. I heard it from a very high-placed source within the Sixers organization that they slightly favored Ben Simmons for the long haul over this guy because of all of the above. That he can't stay healthy and that they can't trust his intangibles from day to day because he's moody and unpredictable about exactly what he's going to give you when you need it most.
Right.
So they favored Ben Simmons' intangibles, and then, as we well know, Ben develops his free throw demons, and here we sit.
Right.
And Brooklyn's not sure what they have, and I promise you, Philly's still not sure what they have with that guy.
Well, they definitely. Well, if they're not sure what they got with that guy, they're definitely not sure what they got with James Harden either.
Yeah, well,
but too late. That might be a little late for that, Skip. Skip, look, when you're that size and you that agile, the likelihood of you having a clean, healthy season isn't very good. That's a big man. That's a man that's probably well over 300 pounds. And you're asking him to play somewhere between 65 and 75 games a season.
Okay.
On a up and down. That's asking an awful lot of guys.
I do know a guy who has the all-time NBA scoring record.
Yeah.
He's 7 feet 2 inches tall.
Yeah, but
named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who took care of himself and mostly, number one, ate correctly
Yes.
his whole career.
Yeah.
And he kept himself slim and
Yes.
fit. And he was relatively unscathed in the injury department, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's possible, it's doable.
Yeah, but I don't think Kareem ever weighed 300 pounds.
No, well,
I don't
that's
think
what I'm saying.
Joel Embiid probably hadn't been under 300 pounds in like 7 years.
Right. I mean, what was Kareem when he stopped? Was he 40?
42. Yeah.
Well, he still looked lean to me, like he looked almost skinny when he was 42 years old.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, Skip, that's a lot. You can put a lot of weight on a 7'2" frame. Shaq's a big man. I don't know if anybody ever seen Shaq in person, but Shaq is the biggest man I've ever seen with my own two eyes.
I agree.
That's a large frame.
Yep.
You can put a lot of weight on that man.
Mm-hmm.
So he has to monitor his eating habits and his lifestyle as long as he's in the NBA.
Yeah.
Hey, Joel, you didn't win it this year. But who's to say next year or the next year? You could be back-to-back. Last 4 years, Skip, we've had 2 back-to-back winners. I don't know when the last time we've had a situation like that where we had somebody go back-to-back, 2 different guys go back-to-back. So, hey, just keep playing. You lost that one. But, Skip, it is frustrating because there are times that I felt I should have gone to the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
It is frustrating, like, well, damn, what else I got to do? My numbers is better than his. My team record is better than his. And he went, how? So I can just imagine.
All anybody remembers is that Shannon Sharpe has 3 Super Bowl rings in 3 tries. Right?
Yeah.
That's it.
And then one of those years, I thought that year, that first year in Baltimore, I should have been in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I said, that's all right.
Okay, you're living in the past now.
I did.
Let it go. Let it go.
I can't. I'm about to be 54. I'm going to talk about it until I'm 64.
Okay.
You got the bling, though, Shannon.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.